Hello, PMA community. I'm Kyle, guitar and low brass instructor at Prairie Music and Arts, and I'm going to talk to you today a little bit about Soundtrap. Soundtrap is a digital audio workstation, or a DAW, that is entirely cloud-based. If you have ever used GarageBand or Pro Tools or something like that, you're already going to know a lot about how this program works. Think of Soundtrap as an optional supplement to your weekly lessons. So your teacher may ask you to try out this app as a way to kind of make music back and forth virtually, almost the way that we were able to when we were in the room together. Not quite the same, but we're trying to simulate it as best we can. So all you need to use Soundtrap is a computer, or it also runs on a phone or a tablet, whatever kind of device you have, and a pair of headphones. You can use nice studio headphones like this, or just your ear pods or whatever you've got. Doesn't really matter. All right, let's dive into it, shall we? Okay, your teacher will invite you to join Soundtrap, and once you click on that link and set up your account, and you log in, this is going to be the main screen that you get. Most of what we do in Soundtrap is going to take place in studio mode, which is this button up here. Again, it's going to look slightly different if you're using a phone or a tablet, but you'll figure it out. Click on Music. For now, we're going to ignore these buttons down here, and we're just going to add a new track to record into. Most of your time in Soundtrap during lessons, you're going to use this first option, voice and microphone. That's going to enable you to actually record audio straight into the program. These other things give you some fun virtual instruments and beat making capabilities that are going to be fun for you to play around with on your own, but for right now, mostly what we're going to do, voice and microphone. All right, now it has just set up your computer microphone or your phone microphone or whatever to go right into Soundtrap. From this list here, you can select the different mics that you have plugged into your computer. I have quite a few because I use an external audio interface, so I'm going to select MBox. You can probably just use the default microphone in your computer. It's going to work just fine. When I click X here, it takes me back to the main studio view. I want to show you a couple things before we begin. Very importantly, down here there's the metronome, which you can toggle on or off. You can change the tempo by typing in a number right here, and you have a few more settings for that metronome in this settings menu. For right now, I'm going to have that on so that I hear a metronome while I'm recording. And this button up here, this little magnet, when that's enabled, then that means snap to grid is on. That means anything that I drag or edit in this timeline is going to kind of get snapped right over to a quarter note. When I turn that off, I'm able to make much more small, fine adjustments. And they both have uses. For now, I'm going to leave it off. And I'm going to record enable my track by making sure this R is lit up red. And then just hit this record button. I'm going to hear a 2-measure count off, and then I can begin playing whatever it is I'm going to play. All right, there's my audio that I just recorded. If I listen back to this, you might find that it's just a split second behind the beat. And that's because of a thing called latency. That's just a slight delay between what you're playing and what's being captured by the microphone going into the computer. If you turn off this snap tool, you can make tiny adjustments to compensate for that. I'm going to zoom in here. I'm going to just click and drag this so that my audio file begins right where my first note is. And I'm just going to visually line up that first note with beat 1. And now it sounds like I'm in time. You'll get the hang of doing that. And if you're using an Apple computer, I don't think that they have as much of an issue with that. Going back to the home screen of Soundtrap, your teacher is going to share projects with you that you are going to use in your weekly lessons. So as an example, I'm working on this duet called Au Clair de la Lune. Let's say that a teacher shared this project with me. I'm going to click on Studio here and open up that session in the studio mode. Once that opens up, I'm going to see that the teacher has already recorded their half of the duet into this track, which they have labeled teacher. I can hear that playing here. By the way, use spacebar on your computer keyboard to play and to stop playing. That's a lot easier than clicking on this play and stop all the time. There is a track already set up for me here called Student. I'm going to record enable the student track. Here we go. Let's say that you don't want to use a metronome, or that your teacher hasn't used a metronome in a duet that you're going to play. In this example, the chords for the song Greensleeves have been recorded and shared with me, the student, so I'm going to open the Greensleeves session. And when I open this and I hit play, I'm going to actually hear the teacher describing how they counted off. I'm going to make sure my metronome is off and play this. Greensleeves. I'll count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And then your pickup note is on beat 3. All right, so I can just pay attention to that. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. When you are done with whatever session that you're working on, it might take you a few takes to kind of get it the way that you want it to sound. But when you've got it the way you like, click Save up here. Now, because this is a cloud-based program, when your teacher opens the session, they're going to have access to your recording as well as theirs, and you're going to be collaborating virtually back and forth. So that's all there is to it. That is an overview of the most basic ins and outs of Soundtrap. Of course, there's a lot of other features that you can dive into, and I think you're going to have a lot of fun just figuring some of that stuff out for yourself. In the meantime, I really look forward to seeing what you do with Soundtrap just in a weekly lesson. Thank you for watching, everybody. Take care.